Let's jump right in, shall we? If you're navigating the constant twists and turns of global polymer markets, you already know that timing is literally everything. Having the exact right data at the precise moment you need it, that's the whole ballgame. So today, we're doing a rapid, highly actionable explainer on polybutylene terephthalate, or PBT, for the third week of August 2026. We're going to cut straight through the noise, look at the hard data, and give you the structured insights you need to tackle this week's trading environment with absolute confidence.
To pull this off, we're drawing straight from the latest intelligence over at Polymer Bazaar. Their whole mission really boils down to three things: price, prediction, and profit. And look, in a market where a fraction of a cent can completely make or break your bottom line, having a reliable source that turns raw data into profitable predictions is just a game changer. They're the engine behind the numbers we're unpacking today.
Okay, to respect your time, let's dive into this five-part agenda. We'll hit instant intelligence, the feedstock baseline, take a global market tour, look at Indian spot assessments, and finish up with our purchase recommendations.
Section 1. Instant Intelligence. So before we even glance at a price point, we've got to talk about the elephant in the room for polymer trading, and that's speed. Tracking volatile global markets can literally eat up hours of your day. Well, enter the Polymer Bazaar WhatsApp chatbot. This thing is your 24/7 secret weapon. It gives you instant access to real-time pricing, predictions, and official company price lists, all in under 5 seconds. Seriously, that's faster than it takes to sip your morning coffee. And since it's always on, it doesn't matter what time zone you're operating in. You're just never going to be caught off guard.
Now, what's really interesting here is how ridiculously simple it is to get started. No clunky software, no weird logins. You literally just open WhatsApp, text PBT to +91 93746 24365, and boom, the market info hits your phone instantly. You can always email their team at info@polymerbazaar.com too, but honestly, this chatbot is the ultimate frontline tool.
Section 2. The August 2026 Feedstock Baseline.
All right, with our data tools sorted, we need our baseline numbers. Any seasoned trader knows you can't understand the finished PVT market without nailing down the raw material prices first. Looking at the current baseline in Chinese yuan, or RMB, we've got PTA sitting at 63.70 and BDO right at 9,000. Lock those figures in, okay? Because these feedstock costs are the bedrock of the production cycle. They anchor the entire global narrative we're about to dive into. When feedstocks move, finished goods naturally follow. Simple as that.
Section 3. The Global PBT Market Tour. And this brilliantly illustrates how those baseline costs are colliding with regional demand. Let's hop across the map. Up top, the US Bazaar. Demand there is just dull. It really hasn't recovered, which is keeping prices totally steady at 112 cents per pound. Drop down to the Europe Bazaar, and it's practically a carbon copy. Dull demand, prices holding flat at 1,700 euros per metric ton, and imported grades are completely dominating that space right now. But then, look at the China Bazaar at the bottom. Totally different story. Prices are unsteady, and there's a lot of uncertainty swirling around an ongoing geopolitical crisis. Yet, even with all that noise, we're actually seeing a slight improvement in purchases over there.
Basically, we're looking at a tale of two distinct markets. On one side, we have Western stagnation. The US and Europe are dealing with dull demand and flat, non-moving prices. On the other side, Eastern uncertainty. China is a massive puzzle right now. There's a slight uptick in buying activity, but it's totally clouded by that geopolitical crisis. It's a really delicate balancing act the global traders need to watch like a hawk.
Section 4. Indian Spot Assessments.
Let's zoom way in from those macro trends to the actual daily pulse. If you're trading in or with the Indian Bazaar, the magic numbers you need to know this week are 142 to 145 rupees per kilogram. That's the highly localized spot pricing specifically assessed for Mumbai and Delhi. Oh, and quick side note, make sure you factor this into your margin calculations. That assessment is strictly ex-GST. So this gives us a crystal clear picture of where the domestic Indian market is actually transacting, despite all that global stagnation we just talked about.
Section 5. Final Purchase Recommendations.
Let's move on and see how this all builds into a strategy. We've got our baseline, we've toured the stagnant West and the unpredictable East, and we know the localized Indian spot prices. Synthesizing all of that, the overall buying pulse for the week is fundamentally defined by subdued activity. It's a classic tug-of-war in the market. Pulling prices downward, we have ample material availability slamming right into weak overall demand. But pulling slightly in the other direction, acting as a bit of a safety net, is the upward support coming from higher crude oil prices. We're literally caught between way too much supply and the rising costs of macro energy.
So, the crucial point is captured perfectly right here. The official recommendation from Polymer Bazaar states, weak demand and sufficient availability might pull down open bazaar prices. So, we suggest need-based buying. Because there's so little support right now, the sheer weight of all that available material threatens to drag open bazaar prices downward. The smart, actionable play this week? Play it safe. Be conservative. Stick strictly to need-based buying. Just purchase what your immediate production schedule actually requires and protect your capital.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a critical question to chew on for the days ahead. As we push into the fourth week of August, will the ongoing geopolitical uncertainty and those slight purchasing improvements in China actually outweigh this overwhelmingly weak global demand? It's a fascinating dynamic. Remember, the market never stops moving, and your intelligence gathering shouldn't either. Don't forget to use that WhatsApp chatbot to stay ahead of the curve. Thanks so much for tuning in for this focused breakdown. Keep learning and stay sharp out there.